Ravens fans in for a treat this year? Well, let's have a listen to my guy Devontae's first question. He said, this may be Lamar's best year ever. Hey, Ingraven, how you doing, man? I hope you and the family are doing well. Hey, we doing really good. I appreciate you. He said, now follow me. Okay, I'm following you. Lamar has never had a group of really good / great receivers. Ooh, okay, you saying great. That's okay. Now that's okay. I wouldn't call the Ravens receiver group great yet, but the Ravens have done a great job of putting them together. I can't call them great yet, but again, Eric DeCosta and company, they done a great job of assembling this unit. And if you want to keep going, anyway, let's keep going. He said, even in college, that group of wideouts was okay at best, and that's no disrespect, of course. Yeah, of course, I got you. That's almost 8 years with subpar talent at the wideout position and still winning the Heisman and becoming an MVP plus a top-tier quarterback in the NFL. Hey, I can't fight you on that one. If the health stays consistent with the main players on offense, big if, but let's be positive, LOL. Hey, I like that. I'm with that. Lamar will have a field day this year, unless my eyes have been lying to me about Lamar. The new OC will open it up for Lamar like I've been asking and let him take control. What I think people fail to realize is that Lamar doesn't actually scramble a lot. It was mostly design runs and just showed you how great of a runner he is. Now, with the scrambling part, no, I mean, with he looks to throw first. He looks to throw. Sometimes we can feel like, man, Lamar, he just take off, just go. But he's always looking to throw. He's looking to throw. And then another thing too that happens sometimes with the offensive line just breaks down. They just straight up break down, and that's it. So he got to take off. So anyway, he said, but with an open type of offense with good receivers and two dogs at tight end and running back that you got to account for, he can scramble and possibly be more effective because ain't no pack in the line of scrimmage. If he sling that ball right, which I know he will, his legs can be even more lethal, and that's spooky. If our eyes been telling us what we think to be true, then this may be Lamar's best year ever. Or next year when we have more of an understanding of the offense. What do you think? But anyways, say bless, my brother. Praying for peace and good energy for you and the family. Hey, appreciate that, Devontae. Thank you, man. This may be Lamar's best year ever. It could be. I could definitely see that going down because of what he has now. The thing with Lamar, obviously, I know we all think back to 2019 and how beautiful it was and how wonderful it was. The 36 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. He ran for over 1,000 yards and that season was just crazy, man. It was crazy. But then from there, and obviously when you're at the top, the only place to go is down. Well, unless you stay up there. And his last couple seasons, they haven't been on track with that. But again, that is like comparing everything else to that. It's like, whoa. But I think the thing with Lamar this season that I really want to see, obviously would love to see him blow them 2019 numbers out the water. And I think it is possible. Maybe not blow them out the water, but to have even more numbers than that. I think the touchdowns could go up. I think the interceptions could go up too. Especially if you're throwing more. Like, that would be expected. Like, more touchdowns than 36 and the same or less interceptions than 6. Nah, I don't think that's realistic to expect. I just really don't. But because things happen, drops happen, bad throws happen, interceptions happen. It happens, especially if you passing the ball more. I mean, I wouldn't be mad at it, man. I wouldn't be mad if the touchdowns went up and interceptions went down. That'd be crazy, man. Well, I mean, look at Aaron Rodgers be doing that all the time. But anyway, the thing I want to see with Lamar this year, because I do expect him to have a really good year. Obviously, the health. Health is first and foremost. And that's what the whole team across the board. That's what we hoping for big time, like my guy Devontae mentioned. But with Lamar and really the Ravens offense as a whole, they always start off hot. Every year. They always start off hot. They start off on fire. First 3, 4, maybe even 5 games, they start off hot. But then mid-season, they start to get into this slump. They start to get into this where things not as hot as they were before. So this is where I think coaching plays a big part. Obviously, execution as well. Everybody plays a big part. So I just want to see more consistency, especially in the middle of the year, because that's how they usually beginning of the season. They start off hot. The middle of the year, they kind of go down a little bit. Then end of the year, they get better. So, but we want to, and not that they're going to be great every single week. I mean, we would love if they were great every single week, but we just want to see them be more consistent. And could it be because of injuries? Could be. I know that has had to do with it, especially last year when Rashad Bateman went out. It was like, oh, man. But even a little bit before that, too. But could it be because of coaching? Well, yeah, that's a part of it as well. But then there's execution too. That's a part of it as well. So I just want to see this offense just stay consistently good. Be consistently be a threat. And the way that they set this thing up, I think they really can be. I think they really can be because you have more options. You have some talent. Like, and let me just saying, like, you really have some good talent all across the board. The only thing that could possibly get in the way, in my opinion, would be health. That would be it. Like, Ravens got some guys, man. They really do. They got some guys that, and they got a good mix too. That's the thing that's just so exciting about this team. They got a good mix of guys. They got guys that have done it already, that have proven themselves in the league already. A wide receiver, you got Odell Beckham Jr. Even with Nelson Aguilar, like, you know what he can do. You know who he is. He don't got to be the guy, but he can be a guy. Oh, okay, solid. And then with Rashad Bateman, we know what he's capable of, but it's just a matter of putting it all together. So we've seen the potential. We've seen it. It ain't like Rashad Bateman is a complete unknown. No. We know a little bit about Rashad Bateman. We know a good amount about him. It's just about staying out there. So, and then we got Zay Flowers. Well, that's potential right there. Devin Duvernay, we know. With Devin Duvernay is a tricky one too, because we know some about him, and we've seen what he can be capable of. But then his usage, they would use him so weird and inconsistently. So with Devin Duvernay, like, his potential ain't even been tapped yet, in my opinion. So it's like they got some guys that, hey, like, okay, now they can make some stuff happen. So, and then of course Odell, we know, but then you move to tight end. You got Mark. Obviously, we know Mark Andrews. Isaiah Likely last year, a little bit nervous and whatnot, had a little bit of the dropsies and whatnot, and just was finding his role, man, finding his footing as a rookie. Okay, cool. That was your rookie year. That's done. The potential is there. We saw it a bit. We just want to see it more consistently. And it just seemed like we were going into the season thinking like, all right, Mark Andrews, we know he's going to go off, obviously. But with Isaiah Likely, too, we think, oh, man, like, they could have both tight ends and they could be doing their thing. But it just seemed like with Greg Roman, he just didn't really know how to use them both at the same time. If they were both healthy, it seemed like Greg Roman was a little bit lost on how to use both of them. Because when Mark Andrews was out there, oh, it was like nice. But when Isaiah Likely was out there with Mark Andrews, it just never really worked, in my opinion. But then when Mark Andrews got hurt and it was just Isaiah Likely was doing his thing. Like, oh, okay. But, so I don't know. But then you go to running backs. We know what JK can do. We know what Gus can do. We know what both of those guys can do. Obviously, health is the biggest thing. With Justice Hill, we kind of know what he can do a bit. But then there's Mitchell, too. And a lot of people talking about him. We'll see. A lot of people excited about his potential in the league. So we're going to see. I think right now it's going to be tough for him to make the roster. Because he's against three guys that have been here for at least the past 2-3 years. So I know a lot of Ravens fans be like, oh, yeah, he's going to make the roster. I don't see it right now because he's up against guys that have been here. And they already established. I think he can make a practice squad. But we'll see. Crazier things have happened. So, yeah, that's you got all that talent across the board. Guys that are known and some guys that potential is there. And then there's a little bit of unknown, too. But it's exciting thinking about what Lamar has at his disposal. And then with him, we know what Lamar can do, but I feel like we haven't seen the best of Lamar. We've seen really, really, really good Lamar, but I feel like we have not seen the best of him consistently. Well, 2019 was like, it was pretty good, but consistently, man. And I just feel like he can offer so much more. He's capable of so much more than what he did last year, what he did the previous year, what he did the year before. Like, I feel like he can just do so much more. And now this year, with the way that this offense is expected to be designed, I think he'll do it.
Yeah.